The cars get scared and sit back in the car. Is there any human or animal who attacks? I don't understand. His hand was like an animal and was in place of his one hand. The police take this strange creature, and we know that due to a disease in the city, humans are taking the face of animals. The government is looking for a cure for this disease. As we saw in the car, his wife was also the victim of this disease. She was admitted to the hospital. Franz Kiel wanted to take care of his wife, but the doctor advised him to stay in the hospital because of his condition. When he goes to meet her, we see her face, which was similar to an animal. Franz Kiel also says to meet his mother, and she replies that, "What will I do?" Now she didn't understand what I said. Franz Kiel will be happy to see you. You should go. Franz Kiel told the people who work in the hotel that a new hospital has been built nearby with concrete, which is very strong because there will be kept animals like humans. At night, all the sick people were being shifted to the hospital. Because of the flood, the bus falls into the water. Many such animals like humans are killed, and many are lost. Franz Kiel's son, at night, in the same way, in the window of his house. There was no one there. He thinks it is his delusion. As soon as he finds out about this accident, he goes to the place of the accident to find out about his wife. And strangely, the police officer tells him that his wife was not in the dead people, nor in the dead people. She was lost somewhere. After the scene is cut, we are shown playing tug-of-war with the children in the school. The one who had won the losing team in a few minutes. It means he had a lot of strength in him. He didn't even know how. His nail was also broken in all this. So when he was going home, his friend stopped him and asked him about the party on Friday. He didn't want to go for some reason. Coming home, he notices that the bone of his leg is coming out. He is afraid that he is also not becoming an animal. In this fear, he starts to take a strong bath. But it was not a dirty thing that comes off. Here, the other person is also scared. He found his wife missing. She says that your wife is missing. There is no name in my list of people. We are taking good care of those who are still alive. Suddenly, someone screams loudly in the mall. When all the cars are parked, that man says that I saw a strange man here. Everyone moves aside from there. Frank goes ahead to see that strange man because he was thinking that maybe his wife will be here. But there was a man who looked like an octopus. He was trying to escape from here, seeing the police officer with Frank. He threw many things in his hand towards the officer. But the officer was also very fast, and he caught this man. After being caught, Frank sees a little girl here. She had become a bird. When he comes out of the mall, the police officer asks Frank for whom you have bought so much stuff. Frank says while talking that nothing. I have bought it for the camping. However, he had bought this stuff to find his wife. He thought that after that accident, his wife is lost in the jungle. He had hung his clothes and his son's clothes in the jungle, because now his wife's sense of smell was very high. He thought that his wife will go to him by smelling these clothes. Now, because of the government's order that these people cannot keep such sick people at home. But Frank wanted to do the same thing. He wanted to take care of his wife himself. And in this way, he had to take care of all these things. The officer says that today 2 animal-like people have been seen in the mall, and there are many such people who have been lost after that accident. And I think that your mom is also lost. You don't worry, we will go to the jungle on Friday and find them. But now Frank's son was going to a party on Friday, because today a girl had invited him to this party. Frank also said, while not wanting to go to the party, "Remember, you have to come home before 8 o'clock. Everyone was having a lot of fun at this party. And here suddenly Frank's son is shocked. A girl who gives him a tablet after seeing his bad condition. So he licks the tablet like a dog instead of eating it, after which he is thrown into the jungle without fear. When the morning opens his eyes, he was in the jungle. He was feeling as if something was stuck in his throat. He immediately comes to his house. His lips had changed a lot. Also, his color had also changed when his dad comes to his bathroom to see him. So he quickly closes the bathroom door and puts his hand in his throat and takes something out, which was a leg. This boy now understood that he has also turned into an animal. Now he goes with his dad to the jungle with his dog to find his mom. Frank's son was shouting loudly to his mom, but when they don't find anyone, they fall asleep. In the midnight, their dog suddenly started barking loudly, and he goes to a tree, where a monkey-shaped man is up there, when these people go to check him. Suddenly, an eagle-shaped man attacks Frank's son, before he kills Frank's son. Looking at his face, he understands that Frank's son is also exactly the same. That is, he is turning into an animal, and it will not harm him. However, this eagle-shaped man still hurt Frank's son a little. That is why Frank starts taking his son to the hospital. but he didn't want to go, because everyone there finds out the truth that he is turning into an animal, but they don't find the truth. The police officer asks Frank, "Does your son have any problem?" Frank says, "No, he has been bitten by a dog." The police officer says, "Whoever it is, we have to go to the hospital." He comes to the hospital with these two. The army doctors bandage him here, and the police officer tells Frank, "The government has called the army here to control all these circumstances." Anyway, Frank goes home with his son. And when he goes home, his son strangely takes off his bandage and starts licking his wound by opening his legs. But when the mouse speaks in his lab, he screams loudly and makes all the mice quiet, as if the mice are listening to him. After that, Frank's son goes to the river from there. He had eaten a raw fish from the river, and a woman had also seen all this. Before that woman does anything to him, he runs away from there. In the jungle, he again finds that eagle-shaped man who was trying to fly, and he had succeeded to a great extent. He gives him his caught raw fish here. He talks to him, and the eagle-shaped man tells him that I am becoming a bird. I want to fly, but I fall down again and again, and it hurts me a lot. Do you know any such place where I can learn to fly easily? This boy says yes, why not? He takes him to a lake. He takes the eagle-shaped man from the lake and says to him, "You can fly freely here, and if you fall down, you will fall in the water. You will not get hurt." Here in Frank's restaurant, suddenly an animal-like man attacks. That too on Frank. Frank notices that there was another animal-like man there, who ran away from there, seeing this big animal. Maybe she was Frank's wife. He was thinking the same thing here, while the animal that attacked him was screaming loudly. Before all the customers sitting in this hotel get scared, the owner of this place angrily says to this animal, "Shut up." Strangely, that animal had to listen to the owner. There were chains on the feet of this animal, because of which he could not run back to the jungle, and he goes to the customer site, and in a while, the police come and catch this animal. He goes to find his son, but he doesn't find anyone there, but he finds his son's bicycle. When he comes home and goes to the sink to wash his hands, he finds some nails in the sink. These were thrown inside by the son of Franchio. Franchio had understood that his son was turning into an animal. It is shown that a leg of his was broken in the glass and fell down. Because of this, when everyone makes fun of him, he leaves from there and reaches the eagle-shaped man. He ties his wounds. Surprisingly, his father asks him to show his hand. When Franchio's son didn't show his hand, it was confirmed that his son was turning into an animal. Franchio's son also runs from there, but Franchio catches him. He was asking his father to leave him and not to catch him. His father says, "No, I know what is happening to you. You are turning into an animal. You will be my son as you become. Just tell me what changes are coming inside you, so that I can know which animal you are turning into." Franchio's son tells that I can hear the sounds from far away clearly. He asks my strange nails, "Does your friends talk about this?" At this time, the girl touches the bone of Frank's son's heart, and she says to him that, "I know everything, the changes that are coming in you, but I don't care about it." On the other hand, their class fellow also knew the truth about Frank's son. He comes in front of Frank's son with a strange device, whose voice does not say anything to humans, but animals get very annoyed with him. This boy annoys Frank's son a lot and says that I have known your truth for a long time. Frank's son can't take it anymore, and he hits the boy's face with a strong slap in anger. As a result, marks had fallen on his cheek. But because of all these things, the situation had also deteriorated. The police and the army were now looking for him in the jungle, and the eagle-shaped man who helped him to fly helps him here. While flying, someone takes him to a jungle from here. The police and the army also reach there. Frank's son had now gone to the other side of the river by the water, but the cars were not in the water. That's why the army shoots them. And that eagle-shaped man who had become Frank's son's friend dies in this attack. Frank's son, he had taken this place as his home. He eats fruit here and bathes in the river. When he comes out, there was a strange mark on his waist. That is, his body was changing very fast. Frank's son now reaches the part of the jungle where there were many animals like him, and he was a human. And this is what his mother also finds, who had recognized him by smelling him. She was not able to speak like humans, but she was sending her son into a cave again and again, as if she was saying that this is a safe place for you. Emily notices that some humans had turned into snakes, some monkeys had turned into a pig, and a child fell. Everyone was living here very peacefully. Before that, the military people smoke-fired here. By doing this, there is a commotion here. The army people make some noises here with the help of a special device, such noises that make the animals very worried. These noises also make Frank's son very worried, and he is also caught by the hands of the military. But the girl, who had turned into a cricket, she hides herself on the tree and escapes from them. The police had come to the city with Frank's son, where his father meets the police, and they say that he is my son who had gone to the jungle at night. Frank's son, because he was still looking like a human, so the police do not have any doubt. They give him a paper to sign. When Frank's son could not sign on it, he was shouting in anger, and the police suspect that he is transforming into an animal. They were going to catch him. But here Frank kills the police and signs on the paper they gave him, and takes his son away from here. While the officer who had helped Frank from the beginning of the movie, now he knows that something is wrong. That is why the military now starts following them. Seeing this, Frank's son gets scared, and he asks his father that if they have caught me and locked me up in the health center, will you come to meet me? Frank says that it is not possible that they will catch you. I am with you. Here Frank's son also tells him that I saw love in the jungle. Frank also feels good to hear this. He quickly leaves his car in the middle of the jungle, and he says to his son, "Go and stay with me in this jungle. You will be happy here." Without time, Frank's son had run away from there. Frank had tears in his eyes, because he had saved his son from the torture of the government on him. And with all this story ends here.